Hello Internet, welcome back to Driving and Dragons. Today we're going to take a look at something that has to happen in any Old West style town setting. When we're looking at Cyber City Dodge, our Old West cow town in the middle of our cyberpunk universe, where is our rough and tumble saloon? Where is the bar where people get shot over a poker game or stabbed over a gambling debt, where a spilled beer turns into a murder scene? Where do our characters, where do our punks stagger out drunkenly into the street to settle things with pistols? Well, that place is Boot Hill Brews, a small brewery and dive bar that is the haunt of the rougher and seedier locals, Cyber City Dodge. See you on the other side. So what is the Boot Hill Brews? Well, the Boot Hill Brews is your local dive bar in Cyber City Dodge. This is the place where the surrounding area nomad groups that are either guarding or harassing the convoys that go through come to hang out. This is where the rough and tumble local gangers come to hang out. This is where you find the Masterson posse when they're at leisure. This is where you find the Iron Bison when they're at their leisure. And it is the shooting, stabbing, brawling, fighting, low-key dive bar that you see in every border town in an old western. The building is L-shaped, facing the road. So you pull in, and you basically have, on the left-hand side, you've got the building all the way up to the road, and it recesses back and comes across. So you got a long rectangular section with parking spots in front of it, and a short section to the left-hand side of it that comes up to the road. It is a old metal building, rusted, with a neon sign that flickers. It says Boot Hill Brews. No windows, and a single door on the far right-hand side of the front. Going into this place, like I said, no windows, so you're in the smoke-filled, dimly lit room with two very inadequate hanging lights and a bar floor that is covered with mismatched tables and chairs and an old threadbare pool table in the back. On the left-hand wall, you've got an L-shaped bar that is long past need of refinishing, with the stools, which are none too good a repair themselves, with rusty posts and the whole nine, that are bolted to the floor so that they cannot be picked up and used as missile weapons in the various brawls that take place in this bar. The brew house, storeroom, and office are all one single room that is off the side of the bar, which also happens to be where refuge will be stored until closing. So it's not not exactly the most well-appointed place if somebody goes in to see the owners. But Boot Hill is the opposite of the Cyber Steer. The Cyber Steer is very well maintained, very well kept up, lots of pride from the staff there, and it's that kind of place that when you walk in, you know you're not supposed to cause trouble, and that nobody tolerates trouble, where it's almost like in the Highlander being on holy ground. Even just the most bitter of enemies are not going to fight at the Cyber Steer. Boot Hill Brews, best friends are probably going to fight. It is a place to get high. It is a place to get drunk. It is a place to gamble. It is a place to drink away your pain and drink to enhance your anger. It is a place to brawl and be brawled with. It is a great place for flavor in a campaign where you can have your party go in to meet a particularly seedy character, to do something that's a little bit further below, a little below key, and not the perhaps it's something that you're trying to more or less keep off the books, because anything that happens at the Mega Chew, you can pretty much bet that there's going to be some net runners listening in. There's going to be there's just too many eyes and ears there. The Cyber Steer, kind of the same deal. There's a lot of business that transacts there, and that's where the people go to make contracts and do things. But it's also the kind of place where you're going to be seen. It's got a lot of foot traffic. A smoky corner of the Boot Hill Brews, this is the kind of place that maybe you can do something that's a little bit more clandestine and a little bit deeper in the gutter than what you can do at the Cyber Steer. In my initial campaign for Cyberpunk Red with my table, they were approached at the Cyber Steer for a meeting with a corpo exec who sat at the back corner of the bar at the Boot Hill Brews. And he was there specifically for one reason only, because his corporation wasn't even supposed to be in Dodge City. So he went to the place where he could fade into the background and be a stain on the wall and have a discussion about what he needed my players to do. So, this is the Boot Hill Brews. It's a dump. It's a violent, dangerous place. But it's also a place where your characters can get in and feel that grit, slimy underbelly that makes Cyberpunk what Cyberpunk is, even out in the small Midwestern town of Dodge City. See you guys next time.